Let's see what I cooked up real quick. Let's go.
What else is Jacksonville known for? Like, what's number 2, you think?
Punching y'all in the face.
I don't know what part of y'all thinks Dallas is anything other than the Cowboys. I really don't. I can play the best golf course in the world, go to a fabulous restaurant, and spend the night on the beach. Enjoy Fort Worth, boys. Knock it out at Six Flags.
All right, looking downfield, fires got a man down there. Zay Jones is down there. Makes a get to the 20, inside the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Jacksonville!
It's not ho, ho, ho. It's go, 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 go! Let me tell you something. We are Duval till we die, and look here, we've got a great coach.
I don't get into a lot of that as much as I want our team to understand that we need to be playing meaningful football games in December and January.
We've got a franchise quarterback.
Third and goal from the 10. Trevor drops again. Fires right side of the end zone. That ball is caught for the touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr.
We are not dead in the water.
Oh, we in the hunt now, baby.
We are never dead in the water anymore.
We going to the Super Bowl.
At least for 10 to 15 years. Keep Trevor healthy. The guys, the offensive line against that defensive line played incredible today. And like Terry Bradshaw said, do not count Jacksonville as a win.
Yada, yada, yeah, it's an easy win.
Do not. I'm telling you, he said the third time. Do not count Jacksonville as a win if you were playing Jacksonville.
No, when you go up against Jacksonville, you better think twice before you watch your mouth when you come there.
Good ball, baby. Let's go, baby.
I don't get caught up in all the storylines and all that could, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It's just a matter of those guys in that dressing room believing in themselves and getting the job done.
He drops the throw. Looking, fires middle of the field, and that ball is picked off! It is picked off by Rayshawn Jenkins! He's running it back along the right sideline! That is going to be a touchdown! That is going to be a touchdown! The Jags are going to win it on a Rayshawn Jenkins pick six! Are you kidding me? How good is that?
So, let me talk my talk real quick. Let me say something with my chest. Because we done been punched in the face so many times. So, Jacksonville, I'm talking to you when I say this. Let's enjoy the process. Because it's only the beginning. So stand up on your feet. Roll your windows down and say it with me. From Moncrief to Mandarin, San Jose to Keystone Heights, Green Cove, Spring, St. Augustine. By your powers combined, we come together and we represent Duval! Come on, somebody.
This boy got a hit.
P.S. My homie Trevor, he got a little message for all the haters out there.
How about them Jags?
Lab disrespected.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and E to the T.
How about them Jaguars? Can we take that? Is that ours now? Can we use that?
I think so.
Right?
At least for a day.
Well, at least until the next time Dallas beats Jacksonville. When's that going to be? Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Hope you make it.
Let's go.
We'll see you there, baby.
Yeah.
See you in January. Or February, I guess, as the case may be.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'm a little ahead of myself right now, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are in control of their playoff fate. Tony, I don't know if you can be in control of fate. It's always a sticky kind of a verbal corner to walk yourself into, but you know what I'm saying. Went out, and we're hosting in the middle of January at TIAA Bank Field. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jaguar fans, David Garrard's got the day off. Terrible day to spend with your family, Dave. Absolutely rotten day to spend with your family, especially considering we're off the next 2 Mondays.
Yeah.
So we're going to celebrate Victory Monday long distance.
I was so bummed that the week that I had everything going on where I was sick for the week was that Monday coming out of the Baltimore game. I was like, this is not the week
Bad
to be
one
out.
to miss.
Like, this is awful.
Yes.
Today is worse, right? To not be in
doggy.
for this right now with what they've done the last 2 weeks. I mean, they scored 7 points in the first half yesterday. They walked out of the building with 40.
Correct.
Right? Like, oh my gosh. I don't think the Jags, even as good as Mark Brunell was, he had Jimmy and Keenan, right? So it's not like they couldn't score. when they needed to score. And once they brought Fred in, I mean, they were dynamic on that side of the ball. But I don't think they ever had a guy that when he was handed the ball late in the game feels like this.
Oh, my God, Tony, no.
This is nuts.
I mean, you look at the numbers now. He's creeping up in the top 10 in all the major passing categories in the league and even higher in some regards. And that's fine. The stats are fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's that feeling you get now when you've got the ball in the fourth quarter. And, Tony, what was it, 2 months ago? How many people call him, Trevor can't win in the fourth quarter. He can't make the plays. No, he hasn't yet. Doesn't mean he can't. Just because he hasn't. And I think you're seeing that clearly now. We're sitting there as soon as the Jags lose the fumble. And by the way, I'm screaming at Trevor. Protect the ball. Tony will attest to this. I mean, I am screaming as he's running that ball. Protect the ball. And then the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still sitting there going, 3 timeouts. We get that thing back with a minute to go. We'll still go down the field and we'll send this thing to overtime. Might not have enough time to win it. And that's what happened. Terrible decision on Mike McCarthy's part to throw deep. And look, it's one thing to throw it deep. If you're Dak, you got to give your guy a chance to make a play on the ball in bounds, and maybe the ref throws a flag.
Maybe, yeah.
Right? He threw so far out of bounds. You saved the timeout. Terrific. I mean, so many efforts to single out in this game. Evan Ingram getting out of bounds with what turned out to be 12 seconds left.
Reminiscent of that Allen Hurns play.
Absolutely. I mean, he's parallel to the ground, inches off the ground, Tony. Just an amazing effort to get out there. Of course, you still have the timeout now in your back pocket, and you can't set up what you did without having that timeout. It was so beautiful. But here's what I don't think we talked enough about in the postgame yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
This offensive line.
Yeah.
Now, Trevor had a couple of Houdini escapes.
Yes, he did.
And okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for your quarterback to help out your protection, right?
Boy, is he feeling it.
But at one point, your right tackle goes out, and then shortly after, your left tackle goes out. So Walker, we'll throw you in at right tackle. No,
I mean, Sheriff is obviously playing hurt.
Right. He is less than 100%.
Yeah.
And yet, did DeMarcus Lawrence make the trip to Jacksonville?
Right.
Honestly, Micah Parsons had a sack. Outside of that sack, he had one assisted tackle in the entire game. Rayshawn Jenkins and Foye Oluokun scoff at those tiny little totals. I mean, Lawrence had one tackle in the whole game, and he played about 70% of the snaps.
Well, and we've come in here for how many Mondays just this season talking about Trevor Lawrence, and the expectation is that he's going to be compared sooner rather than later to guys like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and, the cream of the crop at the quarterback position in this league. And we've talked about it. Those guys are, they may turn it over a time or two in a game, but then they put 4 in the end zone. Well,
we've been talking about it all season, right?
Like yesterday, that was the script.
Exactly.
He turned it over twice. Didn't matter in the end. And you'll coach off those mistakes that he made in that game yesterday. But the fact that he made that interception, it's like, okay, let's see how they respond to this one. How do they respond? How about over the top to Zay Jones? How about on the next drive he finds Marvin Jones? I mean, it was just like, whoa. For anyone who still even has the same old Jaguars in their vocabulary with this football team, you need to walk away from it, man. It's been time to walk away from it, but what he's doing right now, the last 5 weeks, the come-from-behind victories, that one yesterday, the biggest of them, unbelievable, the level of play they're getting out of Trevor right now.
You talk about the turnovers to the big play ratio, and what is the exact ratio? I don't know.
No.
I'll say this. This is what I do know. Trevor Lawrence is tied for 5th with 24 touchdown passes. That's the 5th most in the National Football League. Of the guys, now there are 5 guys either tied or ahead of him, right? Because he is tied in that spot. The only one with a lower interception percentage on the year is Tua Tagovailoa. And it's by 0.1%. Okay?
And he's got Tyreek and
He's
Jalen
got Tyreek
Waddle.
and Jalen Waddle. Are they good? I think they're good. Now, this is not a question of the volume because Tua's missed some games. This is the percentage of your throws that get picked off. Okay? Patrick Mahomes has 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Hey, that you can live with 11.
He's Mahomes.
When you got 35, right? Joe Burrow, 31-10. Josh Allen, 30-11. Geno Smith, 26-8. Tua's 24-5. Trevor's 24-7. And then you've got Kirk Cousins, 24-11 right there. So what did I say at the half? Kind of half joking a little bit. Jags down 14. I said, hey, We're the Vikings. We just scored 19, right? Like instant. We just got an instant 19 because they were down 33. We were only down 14.
Yeah, and I said, now you just got to turn the Cowboys into the Colts.
And they kind of did.
They kind of did.
They kind of did. Look, I was right on the Cowboys score. I had them scoring 34. So, look, the Jags offense came to play. I felt like it was kind of that ball game at halftime that I thought it was going to be. Jags would pick up the pace offensively. They'd get the ball first in the second half, but didn't know if they'd be able to stop Dallas. Well, they got stops when they had to. They didn't stop them throughout. But, man, you tell me, was there a bigger 3-and-out this year than getting that ball back to Trevor Lawrence with a minute to go?
And you could see him on the sideline, like, just give me another shot, right? Like
no doubt.
Like, everything you saw from – we just got on the text line, by the way, from Bush Drive Rich. America's County whipped America's team's ass.
Duval Pride worldwide.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
All right, so today, you know the drill. It's a Reaction Monday. Victory Monday, baby. 15 minutes in, I haven't even uttered the words Victory Monday yet. We're getting so used to it. It's becoming commonplace, Tony. You know, you look down the list, the one loss, right? Like if you go to like ESPN on the schedule, they do the wins in green and the losses in red, right? And I felt like the Jags were like Black Widow. You know, I got a lot of red in our ledger there. Well, starting to green up a little bit over the last 6 games. So we got 4 victories in that span of time. We got time to worry about the Jets, okay? Today's not that day. I ain't worried about anything. Jags had a 12-hour rule, and that's understandable for them. We do not. So let's react to what went down yesterday, one of the most exciting home games I can remember, and I've been to just about all of them over the years here in Jacksonville, Florida. So 641-1010 if you want to get in the phone lines, or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, the Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day, simply asking you, what is your reaction to the Jags winning 40-34 over formerly America's team? The universe's team has spoken. And go home, Dallas, with your tail between your legs. If you want to get in on Twitter today, you can certainly do that. Twitter was fun yesterday. Man, I tweeted all, just hanging out with Jaguar fans online till about 11:30 last night when I got home. Had a blast doing it. But you can hit us up at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and, of course, at IME2, the T.
Come on, somebody.
You know, ET, I tweeted out yesterday, do MFN Vol, right? And right, so somebody said, hey, it's okay. Say it with your chest. I said, listen, I'm on the clock, okay? When I'm on the clock for the Jags, that's as far as I'm going to go. But it might have been uttered behind closed doors yesterday a time or two. So we are ready to go. We are fired up. How can you not be?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Jaguar fans, the city is abuzz right now, Tony.
The whole football-talking country is a buzz.
A month
now, it
from
may
now.
be more the Dallas side of it, you know, from a national perspective, but they're talking about
I think they're starting to notice.
Yeah,
they're starting to notice.
You.
And what you're going to start seeing now is everyone wants to pretend they're the first to the party, because you're not the first to the party, okay? But everyone's going to start going, Trevor Lawrence is this and that. And, next year, Trevor Lawrence, and everyone's going to trip over themselves to be the quote-unquote first to predict just the heights that Trevor Lawrence will reach. Well, you know what? Let's just enjoy the ride for the next 3 weeks, and certainly for the next 2 hours. Let's enjoy discussing what went down yesterday. So we're off and rolling with Tony Smith and E.T. David Guard's got the day off. I'm Mike Dempsey. We'll take your calls next. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.